Inside the Mind of a Day Trader, episode 12. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Hopefully everybody is doing well. December 27th, we are coming up on New Year's, right around the corner. Went 1-for-1 trading today. I alerted the whole entire trade to the Discord. Once again, another beautiful trade, and also once again alerted the whole entire move and trade to the Discord, which I will show you guys and go over in a second. Took the trade on Tesla, so going to go ahead and hop right on into it and start the trade or get into the trade recap. So like I mentioned, obviously today's trade was taken on Tesla. Now this trade was taken off of a demand zone rejection. As you guys can see right here, this demand zone was visible on the lower time frame as well as the higher time frame, which is always going to be most important. You always want to make sure that your zones, whether it's supply or demand, you always want to make sure that they match up on the higher time frames and the lower time frames. I'll show you guys exactly what I mean by that in a second. But like I was mentioning, we have this demand zone that I entered off of and that I had drawn out. Now this demand zone started back here, December, what is this? Friday 27th. Okay, so this was today. Makes a lot of sense. So this demand zone was created today. We can see a strong low and then an aggressive move to the upside, and then we can also see a bunch of accumulation and just like an overall strong rejection level within this price range. So this ultimately really stood out to me, right? It was something that I was really looking at and liking. Now if I go over to the 5-minute time frame, you can see the exact zone that I was showing you guys on the lower time frame. Matches up exactly on the higher time frame as well. So you can see, going back to where I just showed you guys, you can see here, you can see we have this strong wick, a bunch of strong wicks actually before we have this strong move to the upside. You can see pretty powerful move, so it really is indicating an aggressive amount of buyers stepping in within that area. You can also see same thing here, rejection, and then fat move up right here. Same thing here, rejection, strong move up. So this is really standing out to me, right? Literally matches up exactly on the 5-minute like it does on the 1-minute. So we'll go ahead and get our zone out and then mark it out exactly like how we did on the 1-minute, extend it out, and now we have our 5-minute time frame matching with the 1-minute time frame. So we have our higher time frames mixed with the lower time frames. Also, if we move over to like the 30-minute, for example, right, we can see that this same exact zone provided us with that same exact rejection / reversal. You can see here we have aggressive move to the upside. We have some strong wicks. So we can just overall see strong demand / strong amounts of buying pressure being inputted within this area, right? So let's go back over onto the 1-minute. Okay, perfect. Here we are. Here is the trade. Now let's go ahead to the Discord. You can see in the Discord I alerted around this morning around 10:06, set out my eye on Tesla. I'll let you guys know if I see any setups or enter anything. Then I alerted that I was looking at this exact demand zone that I was just showing you guys, right? Then I said going to risk light, but I'm in on Tesla calls, so I alerted my entry. Stop loss was under the demand per usual, so you can see here is me entering at 10:29. Stop loss was below the demand, so I was risking very little, and that's also what stood out to me was how well the stop loss was. So let's go here. So we have our zone. So we entered on this rejection and reversal. I alerted at 10:29 that I was in. So this candle was our 10:29 candle, right? We can then see very shortly after we have a nice strong rejection into this zone, rejection to the upside, giving us a nice confirmation of buying pressure, right? Of buying orders being inputted. And that's when I really started to have more confidence within that trade, because I really started to see the aggressive amounts of buyers step in. You can see here that I had, initially this was my first take profit. It was right here at this previous resistance area. It was just moved up a little bit because price continued to move in my direction, so I wanted to do some further analysis. But here was my first take profit level, which was the most previous resistance. right? Or the most previous key level. I guess we also have a resistance here, but this was my first take profit level. So right here, you can see we broke it. Now going back to the Discord, at 10:36, you can see trade continuing to move in our direction. So after we rejected, you can see it starting to move nicely to the upside off that demand. That's when I alerted I was locking in a profit trim, locking in some profits. Then as you can see, as time continues to move on, you can see it hitting our take profit levels, the previous resistance areas that I was just showing you guys, and you can see the trade continuing to move nicely in my direction. I then alerted that we were in a bit of supply, so I locked in more profits there. I said I only have a small size in my position left, so I took the main profits on this trade already, right? At this point, I was happy with my 40%. I was happy with the move, and that's also something as well, to never get greedy, right? So that was that. And then as time continued on, you can see at 10:53, about like 15 minutes later, you can see the trade continuing to move up even higher. So this was about like 50-60% that the trade continued to run, probably even more. You can see here, same thing on the charts. You can see we started to move up. We had a bit of a move back to the downside, but it was right into this bullish fair value gap that I had charted out. So tap back into the bullish fair value gap and then continued up higher. And then you can see the exact supply that we started to tap. You can see here we have this supply created here, and that's exactly what price tapped into, and that's what when we reversed. I then alerted my exits in general chat, but I just don't want to go through all the conversations right now. I want to make this video quick for you guys. So that was that. But per usual, if you guys aren't in the Discord, I highly recommend joining for completely free. Link is in the description. I'm always alerting my analysis, my trades, thoughts on the markets, and there's a bunch of other like-minded traders in there as well. So definitely recommend joining. But that was the trade. Like I said, I really only had runners from this point on. After we tapped into that supply, and then once we did reverse, you can see we then reversed back to the downside. My stop was pretty much like move to break even, or I exited at break even. I exited the runners at break even, so keep that in mind. So since we still were able to take profit multiple different times on that trade, it still remained a green trade even though the runner went to break even. That's what's also very important about taking your profits and trimming. But that's going to wrap it up on today's video. Hopefully you guys found some value, enjoyed the video per usual. If you have any questions or whatever the case may be, definitely leave it down below in the comments, or I'm always very active in the Discord. But other than that, today is Friday, so hopefully everybody has an amazing weekend, amazing way to wrap up the week on a W trade. But like I said earlier in the video, New Year's right around the corner, so looking forward to a great New Year's. Other than that, guys, I'll see you in the next episode. See ya.